Hey Peggy, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Nice to do our weekly check-in. Always great to see you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you came up with this amazing topic for this week's chat, which I'm super excited to chat about. And it's going to be the difference between, or the similarities between, the 2017 crazy real estate market and today, the 2020 real estate market. So do you want me to open? I'll tell you sort of what my thoughts are on
Sure.
this.
There you
Okay,
go.
so I feel like 2017 hit us with a bat. Like no one saw it coming, right? And all of a sudden, I mean, seriously, you were on the news, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I think you were on like Athabasca or Rundle from memory, right?
Bundle.
It
Yep.
was on Rundle, a great memory I have. There you go. You're on CTV, and there's like other realtors lined up down the driveway and down the sidewalk, ready to present offers on a semi-detached home that was going for over asking price, right?
35 offers.
And do you remember how much it went over asking?
At just over 100,000.
Yeah, okay. So let's fast forward. And it continued for most of 2017. And we'll get back to that first in a sec.
No,
2020, yeah, go ahead.
no, it didn't.
Okay.
It really lasted from January till the end of April.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Remember?
Okay, so what I was going to say is the same buyers that purchased January to April, most of them had buyer's remorse by September, August. Like,
And lots of them didn't close.
that's right. Because of valuation, so appraisals coming in low, buyer's remorse, like prices didn't sustain, so they came down, and a whole bunch of other reasons, right?
Some of them couldn't sell their homes because you couldn't obviously be conditional.
Yeah,
You couldn't close because your house hasn't sold.
good call. I
Builders,
remember many of those conversations.
and builders had a really rough time back then too, because there was
I do remember that.
a high-end builder in Lefroy that they were not able to close because none of the properties would appraise.
Yeah, yeah, we know that very, very well. Like firsthand, I talked to a dozen clients who had purchased in that subdivision. So very interesting. So let's fast forward to 2020. And what I was going to draw the similarity on is that the 2020 real estate market, like this big upswing, hit us like with a bat as well
Yep.
from nowhere because, enter COVID. And nobody really knew what was going to happen. Real estate values up, real estate values down. One thing is for sure, everybody had predicted the same. Yeah,
Yep.
everybody had predicted a downward market. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And I think the turning point, I don't think it's the sole reason for it, but I just remember it as a point in time. Do you remember when real estate was deemed an essential service?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, okay, we can do this. And the real estate market got incredibly busy. Do you remember that time?
Well, and a lot of people were bored at home, right? What else they got to do but search realtor.ca? And the fact that they were spending so much time in their homes made them realize they weren't big enough. They were too small. They were too big. They didn't have a main
Yeah,
floor office. They didn't
that's right.
meet their needs.
Yeah. So, September will mark my company's biggest funding month of the year and in our company's history. So I ran some numbers right before our call. We are right at 50% purchases and 50% refinances, meaning 50% of these people are moving, looking for something that better suits their needs. They're going to be working from home, all the reasons you just said. And the other 50% either A, already have to renew a mortgage, and COVID's not going to stop that.
God for them.
Yeah, right. Or B, yeah, with interest rates, which we'll get to. Or B, they want to renovate the home that they're now going to be spending more time in, more
Yep.
time indoors, more time working there. Who knows, right? So,
Let me ask you this: what are normally your ratios?
probably more, it will definitely more heavily weighted towards refinancing. So people taking better advantage of the home that they already live in. So, I always used to say in a lot of the ad content that we'd run, let me show you how to live better in the home that you already own, right? Like utilize the equity, let's finish the basement, let's beautify it, and show people how cost effective it is to do those sort of things, right? But not right now. It's more 50-50 right now. And I think it's actually going to go to more Yeah, more purchase than it is refi, which is interesting. So, we used to have this like spring market and a fall market, and the fall market was where in our business everything would change to refinance. People were like hunkering down, let's renovate, that sort of thing. Spring market being when people buy homes, and now it seems like we're having this like pre-COVID market, COVID market, post-COVID market is upon us. I'm not sure. So tell me, like, is the market still as red hot as it has been for the last few months?
100%.
Yeah, I thought so, right? Like things are still going over asking.
We had a record July, then we had a record August, and I imagine we're going to have a record September. I find a lot of differences though between 2017 and 2020. And a lot of people think that 2017, the government implemented the rules about foreign investment, and
Yeah,
they feel that that's what caused the crash, and that
yeah,
isn't true. That is
yeah.
not what happened. What happened was the buyers got tired. They got tired of bidding on homes they weren't going to get, and who's to blame them? They got tired. So it was more the market leveling itself out than it was
Yes.
government intervention. What I find different in 2020, the buyers aren't getting tired. And you know why? Because they've never had this kind of motivation to buy because the freaking rates are so low. Like, when are
So
we ever going to see this again?
just about every lender is below 2%.
I know. When are we ever
So
going to see this again?
yeah, so we just helped a first-time home buyer purchase 5-year fixed rate, and some other, special criteria there, but 5-year fixed rate was 1.84%.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Fixed for 5 years, like unbelievable, right?
When we used to see variable rates like that, we would be jumping up and down for joy.
And I don't even like. I think I don't even think we've seen a variable rate in the ones for until like the start of this. That's when remember when they had the emergency cuts to prime rate.
Yeah.
We just saw it, and now we're talking fixed. And I mean, Peggy, like you and I have talked about this a dozen times, but people are still calling asking if they should be taking a variable or a fixed rate.
I can't believe that. That's insane.
Right. I'm going to send them your way when they want that. I feel like, the mom in you will be like, what are you talking about?
It makes no sense. It's not worth the gamble because here's
Yeah.
the thing. Even if you sold your house in 2 years and you have to have some type of penalty, there will be really no penalty because they'll be happy for you to give that damn mortgage up because it'll be for a while. So it would just
That's
be
right.
3 months. Like the problem with most people right now is the ones that we want to refinance and they still have a year or 2 years left in their mortgage. They're paying huge penalties to get out of that because the rates were so low.
And the penalties are going up by the day because the penalty is based on the contract you signed for the remaining months and the difference between that rate and the current rate. So as the current rate goes down, that gap widens, and so does your penalty, right? Like it increases. So we're telling people like get a quote on your penalty when you're thinking about selling. Get a quote again once you get approved for your new mortgage, and get a quote again right before closing so that there's no surprises, because that is always the worst, right?
A difference. And that's why I think there's no gamble in taking a fixed rate right now, because even when you need to get out of that mortgage, it's going to cost you nothing.
Right.
I promise you're not going to see these rates again. So that's what I think the difference is between 2017 and 2020 is the buyer's hunger for real estate is insatiable, and it's all brought on by interest rates. It's all interest rate related. Yeah. And pre-COVID, going into real estate in Simcoe, we had no inventory. We were already having an inventory issue.
Yes.
Now you throw COVID on top of that and have some people not sure what they want to do, not sure if they should list. It was just going to make a disaster. But it is all interest rate driven. There is not one thing that's going to make me think otherwise, because like I said, we deal with buyers all day long, and it would just be crazy for somebody not to buy a house right now. I don't care what you're paying for it. I really
right. Yeah. So, let me just run a quick scenario here for you. Okay. Like, I just want to show you. So if somebody bought a house for say 5.25, I'm going to run a $500,000 mortgage. Okay. And I'm going to say that the interest rate is 1.9% fixed for 5 years, and they have a 25-year amortization, okay? So check this out. Let me show you the effect of these interest rates. So the monthly payment's $2,000 a month. The total payments over the 5 years is $125,000. Sounds like a total, like a boatload of money, but again, it's just a monthly payment every month for 5 years is what this number represents. But check out the difference between principal and interest that's paid on this mortgage, Peggy, okay? Yep. So this number is your total principal that's paid, okay? So $82,000 of your $125,000, which is 66% of your payments, okay? This right here goes back in your pocket. That's principal pay down.
That's insane.
So look at this. You pay $40,000 in interest and almost double that amount in principal. 2/3 principal, 1/3 interest. So, that old adage like, oh, the first 5 years of your mortgage is all interest. Nope. Right out of the gate on a $2,100 payment, $1,300 is principal, $700 is interest. Right out of the gate, your very first payment.
Yep.
Isn't that wild, eh?
It's wild because I remember 20 years ago looking at my mortgage statements and seeing the amount of principal I was paying, and it was like $18.
So let me show you this, okay? So you remember, like, that was before I bought my first home, but when I bought my first home, I was...
Yes, I'm old. Thank you, Nick.
No, I wasn't saying that.
I'm Nick's mother.
Oh, no. Come on now.
All right.
Okay, so check this out. When I got into the industry and I bought my first home, you could get a 40-year amortization, right? 15 years longer, and the interest rates were around 5.99%.
Yep.
Okay, so even though the amortization is 15 years longer than what I just mentioned to you, the payment goes up by like $700 a month. But check out this, okay? $163,000 in payments instead of $125,000, okay? Like, you stretched it over another 15 years.
I know.
Payments go up, okay? But check out the difference between principal and interest.
There you go.
You pay off over 5 whole years, Peggy, a total of $17,000 over 5 years. And look at that interest number.
Exactly.
Isn't that gross?
That's why I keep saying that. Well, there you go. There's the charts I'm used to.
Yeah.
That's what it used to look like.
Right. So this is interest now, okay, $2,500, and this is principal, $256. Yep. So you are absolutely right. You nailed it, like, right on the head. If you pay over asking on a townhome, that's, like what you just had one sell this weekend for a mutual client, $489,000 townhouse went for $530,000. That person will get an interest rate of 1.9% for 5 years fixed, yep. And they will pay off $80,000 in principal over 5 years.
That's why I say, I don't care what I paid for it. I don't care because I can't rent it for cheaper.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be paying it off. So it doesn't matter.
That's right. So tell me, if someone has a townhouse to sell, a semi to sell, a small house to sell, a house with a pool, they're all going over asking.
All of them.
Yeah.
Again, you need a strategy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can just pick a number and just throw it on the market and I
can
see multiples. You have to go along with the strategy, and there's strategies for every price point and there's strategies for every area. So I think you need somebody that knows what they're talking about, and they know where to. Placement is more important than ever in real estate right now. But if you think you've missed the boat, you haven't. If you want to sell your house, you can sell your house. Like, it's a great time to sell your home. If you want to buy a home, it's a great time to buy a home because you're not going to see these interest rates again. I promise you, I have no control over interest rates, and I know you'll never see them again. I've been in real estate for 20 years. I have never seen rates this low, ever.
Yeah.
So, and they're not coming back. The only thing and if you talk to 10 people right now, 8 of them will tell you, oh, the market's going to drop. And it's like, I know that's what people are thinking, but they're wrong. They're wrong. Like, I don't know that we will see, it may drop 5% when all, the government stops incentivizing people that aren't working. That may happen, totally. Yeah. But we don't have the supply. We just don't have the supply to facilitate this market. So we don't have enough
Totally.
supply.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse. It's never going to get better.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. So interest rates are low. They're below 2%. There's still, like, despite what everybody says, yes, things are going fast and yes, things are going where we're asking, but there are homes to buy,
There
and
are.
the values are stable. Like, they're gonna continue at this level for the foreseeable future, I would say, as
And you
well.
know what? Honestly, like, selling a house right now almost looks easy, but I promise you, there's never been a more important time to be with the right mortgage broker and the right realtor, because those two things are invaluable. If you're looking to buy a house and you don't have a good relationship with your broker and you're not pre-approved and you don't have all your ducks in a row, you're done. You're
And your
done.
offer won't win.
Don't even offer, because you're just helping somebody else get more money.
I
So
just had a conversation with somebody who said, my offer needs to be conditional on 5 days, right? And my answer was yes, because we don't have all your ducks in a row. Like, we've never spoken before. So get started early. Like, I mean, Peggy, you and I have come up with a process that's bulletproof now. So, when one of your team members calls one of my team members and says, hey, we need a short conditional period, or let's review our financing, like, we have everything on file. They're pre-approved. We know their numbers upside down and backwards. We can give advice on it. But when someone is not prepared, hey, I'm in competition, I'm ready to submit my offer, can I go firm? We don't have docs. We don't have a strategy. We haven't done a face-to-face. Like, it just changes the entire equation, right?
it does. And I always say that real estate is like playing cards, right?
Yeah.
I can only bluff so much when I'm in an offer negotiation. I'm only as good as the cards I hold. So if I'm holding a bunch of threes and twos, I've got a heck of a lot less chance of winning that as if I had a couple of aces or a jack, or you know what I'm saying? So
Totally.
I'm only as good as the hand I hold. So if
Yeah.
you can get pre-approved and if you can have everything lined up, there are strategies to get you into a home. Same as if you're selling a home. If you want to sell your home, you can almost be guaranteed you're going to sell your home in this market. Like, if you can't, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
There's just no chance. So
Yeah.
my thing is that selling a home right now looks so easy. It's
Yeah.
like, stick a sign on your lawn. Chances are 6 or 7 cars are going to drive by. Somebody's going to stop and ask you. But it's not about selling your house. It's about selling it for the best price you can get for it. It's not about selling it during a coming soon period where I have a buyer and I'm just going to bring him to you and then we're going to get the whole thing wrapped up. It's not hard to sell a house. What's hard is to get the right strategy to get you top dollar. And that's where I think a lot of people are missing the boat is they don't have the right strategy. They don't hold offers long enough. They don't price it properly. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not just your home, it's your investment. And you have to strategize to get the most you can for it. You don't get a second chance at this.
Yeah. Totally agree. Peggy, just because I want to give you a shameless plug, because I know you never give yourself enough credit. Where are you ranked in Remax Canada?
Number one.
Yeah. So if someone's looking to sell their townhouse, their semi, small little starter home, a duplex, please call Peggy. She knows what she's talking about, as you can see. And if you're looking for an interest rate of less than 2%, you can give me a shout. You can find me on peggyhill.com under their trusted partners page, or reach out to Peggy at peggyhill.com. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Peggy.
Bye, guys.
The Peggy Hill team. Real people, real service, and real results. The Peggy Hill team. Keeping it